ganda ng discussion natin last week.
Grabe, last week, no? Nagulat nga ako sa mga sinasabi nila eh.
Lahat naman ng mga netizens sa social media, it's a big no. Mas pabor sila sa pag-aalaga ng ating Mother Nature.
Okay, pero syempre last week dito sa school na to, napakainit pa rin ng discussion. And of course, nasan ba tayo ngayong gabi? Anong school to?
Panuorin natin ulito. As we all know, PLM is located within the historic walls of Intramuros. Pero alam nyo ba na ang 3-hectare grounds ng PLM ay dating base militar ng mga Amerikano noong Japanese occupancy?
Sa katunayan pa nga po, Kuya Miko, ay maraming nagbuwis ng mga Pilipino at Americans ng buhay nila noong Rebolusyon. Sa katunayan, mismong si Dr. Jose Rizal ay dito inilitis noong sinampahan siya ng kasong sedisyon.
Pero sa kasalukuyan, PLM grounds now serve as a second home para sa mga 10,000 scholar ng bayan enrolled in 9 different colleges and 4 graduate schools.
In addition to that, ang pamantasan ng lungsod ng Maynila ay kinikilala rin bilang isa sa mga top 10 universities in the country today. Sa katunayan, as a testament to its excellence, the Commission on Higher Education has publicly commended PLM for its unprecedented track of achievements.
Maging sa emblem pa lamang ng PLM ay makikita nyo na kung ano ang nagsisignify sa pamantasan. The sunburst implies light, energy, and power. Samantalang ang torch naman ay kumakatawan sa patuloy na paghahanap ng liwanag at katotohanan.
Sa encryption din ng seal, makikita ninyo ang mga guiding principles ng pamantasan: karunungan, kaularan, at kadakilaan.
Wow! Talaga nga namang napakayaman ng kasaysayan ng PLM. At sigurado kong handang-handa na itong ating mga scholar ng bayan para tanggapin ang hamon ng mainitang diskusyon. Kaya naman, welcome to...
Napakasayang gabi sa inyong lahat, mga schoolmates, and of course, Miko Hesa. Yes. Nandito pa rin tayo sa pamantasan ng lungsod ng Maynila! Okay, at syempre, gaya nga ng nasabi natin kanina, napakainit pa rin ang pagtanggap sa atin ng mga PLM mayors, ang ating mga students dito sa PLM. And of course, gaya nga last week, tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang pagbabanggaan ng mga insights and opinions ng ating mga debaters hinggil sa mga napapanong issue ng ating lipunan.
Yes, Jules. And aside nga sa dalawang grupo natin for today, ay may chance din sumali ang ating mga schoolmates barkada sa ating audience. Ready na ba kayo, PLM mayors? Yes, at ready na sila. At sobrang exciting for today.
At ready na rin ang ating mga netizens sa social media. Kaya naman, i-follow nyo po kami sa Facebook at Twitter at ipadala na ang inyong mga komento dahil mamaya isa-isa po namin yang babasahin.
Pero Miko Hesa, ano nga ba itong trending issue na ating tatalakayin? Narito po at panoorin natin.
Sa darating na eleksyon, pangalan ko na ang ilagay nyo sa inyong mga balota. Dahil pinapangako ko sa inyo, nagaganda ang ating barangay. Lilinis! Gagawa tayo ng feeding program para sa mga bata. At higit na lahat, mag-e-enjoy kayo dahil ako'y magpapaliga. Volleyball para sa mga babae. At basketball naman para sa mga lalaki. Kaya naman, iboto nyo, Miko Aitona, SK Chairman! Parang nagtagpo na ang landas natin dati. Sabi na nga ba, susundan mo ko eh.
Feeling mo naman. Nagkakaan ka rin ng ano? Ano sabi mo kanina? SK...
Naiboto nila ako bilang SK Chairman.
Alam mo kasi hindi ako masyado aware sa SK Chairman. Ano bang ginagawa ng isang SK Chairman?
Siyempre, ang SK Chairman, kami ang sumusuporta, ang boses ng kabataan sa aming barangay!
Alam mo kasi parang hindi ko na-feel yung mga benefits ng SK?
Huwag kayong magalala. Dahil pagka ako ang nanalo, lahat ng gusto nyo, susundin ko!
Okay, wait lang. Sa tingin ko, kailangan natin discuss with our fellow schoolmates. Sa tingin niyo, schoolmates, payag ba kayo i-abolish ang SK program? Yes or no?
Okay, Hesa, ayan. Sangguniang Kabataan o SK. Kailangan pa nga ba ito ng mga kabataan at ng ating komunidad? Yan ang tanong.
Yes, Jules, alam mo, it's very important to talk about SK. Kasi kung ating alalahanin, SK is created for the noble purpose of recognizing the importance of youth in nation building. At dito yung sinasabing tinitrain ng mga kabataan while they're young na maging future leaders of this country.
Pero alam mo, Hesa, the thing is, sobrang daming mga controversies ang pumapalibot dito sa SK. For one, sinasabi na dito raw nagmumula yung training grounds daw for corruption. Kaya sobrang daming mga ayaw daw dito sa SK.
Yes, so dapat bang tuloy i-abolish ang Sangguniang Kabataan or dapat itong i-retain para rin sa kanila? Lahat yan sasagutin ng mga schoolmates natin maya-maya.
Kaya naman, Hesa, para simulan na natin ang ating talakayan, sino nga ba itong dalawang grupo na ating makakasama ngayong gabi?
Ang unang grupo ay pumapabor na i-abolish ang Sangguniang Kabataan. Let us all welcome EJ, Dan, and Carlo!
Okay, ito naman ang ating pangalawang grupo, Hesa, debating team members na hindi pumapabor na i-abolish ang Sangguniang Kabataan. Let us all welcome Gian, Paulo, and Jonathan! Hesa, mga law students to, ha?
Yes, so
Mga eloquent
no pressure
students
sa
yan.
inyo, guys. So may ganda yung episode natin for today. All right. And aside from our two groups for today, ay may chance din sumali ang ating mga schoolmates sa audience at social media. Kamusta natin si Miko?
Tama yan, Hesa. Nakita mo naman talagang excited na ang ating mga schoolmates barkada dito sa audience. Pero bago tayo magsimula, pwede mapagsinigaw kong school. School ay sisigaw nyo, mates. Okay? School! Ayan, kitang-kita na natin na talaga namang ready na dito sa pamantasan ng lungsod ng Maynila sa ating topic na dapat bang i-abolish ang Sangguniang Kabataan? Mamaya, malalaman natin yan. Pero balik muna tayo sa inyo, Jules and Hesa.
Maraming salamat sa iyo, Miko. Siyempre sa ating pagbabalik, simulan na ng ating mainitang diskusyon. Dito lamang sa Schoolmates.
May pakialam ka. Welcome back, schoolmates! At kanina nga nakilala natin kung sino-sino ang mga debating teams natin dito sa PLM. Sila ang mga pabor at hindi pabor na i-abolish ang Sangguniang Kabataan.
Kaya naman, this segment, Hesa, bibigyan natin ng tig to 2 minutes yung mga team leaders ng bawat group at 1 minute naman for the succeeding speeches, and this is for the constructive or argument speech. Kaya naman, ladies and gentlemen, simulan na natin sa in favor na i-abolish ang SK.
Ladies and gentlemen, debating upon the motion to abolish Sangguniang Kabataan, your affirmative is sure to understand that it's a high time to abolish the Sangguniang Kabataan. But before we proceed, let me first characterize two things in this debate. First is the youth. The youth, according to the United Nations, wherein the Philippines participates, are those people who are ranging from 15 to 24 years old. So therefore, even if you would abolish Sangguniang Kabataan, there would still be youth representation, there would still be youth participation and involvement, contrary to what your negative would state and would raise later. Second is Sangguniang Kabataan. So of course, you know the Sangguniang Kabataan, but let me characterize Sangguniang Kabataan as a powerful mechanism that the youth is not yet ready. So what is the problem we see coming from your affirmative? So more than corruption, because that's superficial, that's only underlying, is that the problem of apathy and concern or interest of the youth in the Sangguniang Kabataan. So a while ago, when you were asked who's interested or is in favor of Sangguniang Kabataan, nobody raised their hands. That's the problem we see coming from your affirmative. Nobody's interested. No matter how perfect the facade is, no matter how beautiful the structure is, no matter how great the mechanism is, if the youth is not interested, there's no concern coming from the youth, it would not serve its purpose. That's the problem of Sangguniang Kabataan. So therefore, what's the proposal of your affirmative? So more than abolishing is the is to educate the youth. The government have to consider that the youth, before they can abolish Sangguniang Kabataan, they might reach the interest of the youth, because other than that, SK would not serve its purpose. So what is the proposal of your government? You have to educate the youth. You have to tell the youth. You have to let them participate. Because at the end of the day, as what I've stated a while ago, even on my personal experience, when I was 15 years old or when I was 18 years old, when I was given the chance to vote, I did not vote because I am not interested. Why? Because only those students, only those people who have political affiliations are given the chance to run in the government, notwithstanding the capability of other students or other youth who is capable of leading other people. So, and more than that is that the government would like to propose that you have to challenge the very concept of Sangguniang Kabataan. Not the structure, not only the structure, but the concept of Sangguniang Kabataan. Because Sangguniang Kabataan gives the youth a large, powerful mechanism for legislation concerning a large amount of money. And that would be touched by my deputy speaker. So at the end of the day, what our proposal is, you have to educate the youth, you have to make them interested regarding Sangguniang Kabataan. So that's a problem, and with that, your government is proud to propose.
All right. Thank you so much, Irvin. So sinasabi niya that the issue here is more than just corruption.
Yes. Actually, may powerful statement siyang sinabi na nobody's interested daw anymore with the Sangguniang Kabataan. And that's very powerful statement. Tingnan natin kung ano magiging response dito ng anti-abolition ng SK. Go for it, Gian.
A pleasant day to everyone. We in the negative side firmly believes that it is not necessary to abolish the Sangguniang Kabataan or the SK. Why? Giving you 2 points. First, it is mandated by the Constitution and by statute. And second, we should not look upon its abolition to solve the defects of such institution. First, it is stated in Article 2, Section 11 of the Constitution that the state shall promote the role of the youth in nation building. And according to the Local Government Code of 1999, or RA 7160, which institutionalized the Sangguniang Kabataan, it is a best venue for the promulgation of resolutions, initiations of programs, and conducting fundraising activity. So it is a youth council that will empower the youth in the community affairs of the government. So it started, firstly, in the Marcos administration in the year 1975, wherein the role of SK is given the chance so that it will tap the community affairs of the government involving the youth sector. So that is the first point. For the second point, we shall not look upon its abolition to cure the defects, because how sure are we that abolishing it will definitely result in a good one? We are moving that we look onto another venue, which is reformation rather than abolition of the Sangguniang Kabataan. So my other speakers will tell you the advantages of the Sangguniang Kabataan and will promote that it shall not be abolished.
Okay, thank you so much, Gian.
Thank you, Gian.
Okay, Hesa, sabi ni Gian na from the very start, it's unconstitutional na i-abolish itong SK kasi nga nakalagay daw sa constitution natin na kailangan merong mga programs and mga opportunities na binibigay sa youth para ma-empower sila.
Yeah, which help them to be active sa kanilang mga environment,
That's
di ba? And it also promotes the role of the youth for nation building.
Kaya ang proposal nila to reform the current
Not to
structure.
abolish,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, so anong sagot dyan ni Dan?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a constitution that provides expressly for the development of the youth, but not merely providing for the establishment of SK. There is not a single word in the constitution that states that we will establish the SK. Furthermore, we have a constitution, we have a country that expressly states and expressly provides that the importance of the youth is of very vital importance, in such a manner that they are given of the highest priority, they are given the highest budget through education. And education is where the real training, the real development of skills, the real development of talents, the real development of abilities, the real development of leadership qualities are to be developed, are to be asserted. Not merely we cannot assert that we have an SK that comes out of the desire of the legislators to develop the leadership capacities of the youth. No, we have already provided that we have a system that will already develop the youth and will already protect the rights of the youth from abuses, and furthermore establish that they will be given of utmost importance through education.
All right, thank you so much, Dan. All right, so sabi ni Dan, it's not specifically in the Constitution that they should support the SK.
Kasi
Technically.
That's right. Kasi kapag constitution naman talaga, hindi naman explicitly detailed kung anong programa na nakalagay doon. So yun yung pinapoint out ni Dan. And one more point na sinabi niya, na meron namang other venues na pwedeng i-hone pa yung skills ng mga kabataan. That's through the education system. That's enough for him.
Yes.
Okay, so anong masasabi dito ni Paolo?
Go ahead.
The fact that SK is not mandated by the Constitution, it is provided by the statute. It is provided by the local government code. Therefore, SK must exist. It is a fact that SK has a novel purpose. Therefore, it provides several advantages thereof, and I want to stress two of them. First, SK is the voice of the SK is the voice of the youth in the government. Naniniwala ako na ang SK ang kumakatawan sa bawat prinsipyo ng makabagong kabataang Pilipino. At naniniwala rin ako na ito ang sagot sa pangmatagalang solusyon na kinakailangan ng ating gobyerno at ng ating bansa. Second, SK is the perfect venue to raise, to nurture, and to develop future young leaders. Naniniwala ako na ang SK ang tamang lugar upang mas maagang maimulat ang bawat kabataang Pilipino sa tunay na muka at sistema ng politika sa ating bansa upang sila mismo ay hindi maging bulag, pipi, at bingi sa tunay na issue at kalagayan na kinakaharap ng ating bansa. Therefore, commitment to our Filipino youth is commitment to the future of our government and of our beloved country. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Paolo.
Okay, so provided naman daw sa local government code, itong specifically SK daw nakalagay doon. So kailangan daw matuloy pa rin siya.
Yes.
And one more point na sinabi niya, ang SK daw, ito ang magsisilbing daan para maibigay yung boses ng kabataan sa gobyerno.
Yes, actually, na-notice ko yun that we as a youth, that will be our channel. Yun yung voice natin, di ba? So that's a good point. Thank you, Paolo. Ano naman sasabi ni Carlo dito?
Mga kapwa ko scholar ng bayan, constitution or statute, we don't need positions, titles, or embezzlement to be able to serve our country and our people. The real solution towards apathy that the youth has today is education. Yun yung sinabi nung first speaker mula sa side namin. And education, it's staying in school, it's doing your homework, it's being honest with the small responsibilities that would have a possible impact towards the personality nating mga kabataan to handle those responsibilities in the future. The very notion of the opposition that the youth needs SK or positions to be able to impact real change or to even contribute to our government is what's wrong with this trapo system that we have today and what's fed the youth's apathy throughout the years. We have to establish that we don't need embezzlements or positions like that to be able to effect real change, right? It's education. It's learning that these small responsibilities that we have today is what's precisely going to change our personality to be able to handle those responsibilities in the future. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Carlos. Na-notice ko, Jules, on their side, their basic point na pinapoint out nila is education.
That's right. And of course, may sharp point din siya na sinabi na hindi daw natin kailangan ng posisyon para makapaglingkod sa lipunan.
Yes.
So enough na rin siguro ibang opportunities to show that you are in service for the nation.
There are other ways naman.
All right.
All right, Jonathan.
All right. On this side, we believe on the ground that there should be no abolition of the Sangguniang Kabataan. I'll be giving you 3 points. First is there is a status quo that is working. Definitely, we have an SK which is working as of this moment. There's a shared adherence and as well as shared responsibility on both the government and as well as the youth. This is the great avenue for the youth to stand up and then as well as be proud that they be able to contribute to the society. Second, there is fiscal adequacy. It is stated that in the local government code that 10% of the budget for the barangay is dedicated for the Sangguniang Kabataan. The Kabataan ng Barangay serves as the avenue for the Sangguniang Kabataan for them to be able to share and as well as perform and implement and administer all the responsibilities in the society. And then lastly, there is also an important factor that we have to consider, that all the youth would be able to provide in a sense that there will be local governance that is provided also in the youth.
Okay, thank you so much, Jonathan. Yan, sinabi niya na in status quo, nag-work naman talaga yung system. Siguro meron lang daw na mga iba't ibang situations na naiaangat maybe in the media, na kaya kumakalat itong situation na may mga corruption, etc. Pero the basic point is, it works daw.
Yes. Alright. So, narinig na natin kung ano masasabi ng mga dalawang grupo for today. Siguro hingan na natin ang mga opinions ng ating mga schoolmates na kasama ngayon ni Miko. Miko, kamusta dyan?
Salamat, Hesa! Ayan, nag-iinit na talaga ang ating talakayan. Iba-iba ang reaksyon ng ating mga schoolmates dito sa audience. Kaya naman alamin natin kung ano ba ang kanilang opinion. Humanap tayo. Sino kaya ang pwede naming tanungin? Taas ang kamay! Ayan. O sige, schoolmate tayo. Magpakilala ka na muna sa kanila. At saka kung anong kurso mo.
I am Aldrix Palma, economic student.
Okay. So, anong masasabi mo? Your thoughts?
Ladies and gentlemen, I am still considering the points in the side of against in the abolition of the Sangguniang Kabataan as of the moment, and based also significantly on my perspective as a student leader of our university. First of all, instead of the abolition or the concept of abolition, I would rather prefer na wag nating i-abolish or tanggalin totally yung concept of Sangguniang Kabataan, but significantly, i-regulate natin yung mga nakikita nating mali. And i-retain natin yung mga positive concepts and things and effects na nakikita natin na nabibigay ng ating Sangguniang Kabataan. And I would also to take what Kuya Paulo have said earlier that Sangguniang Kabataan, through the leadership and management of youth in our society, is the voice of the youth on our government. And most especially, it brings a lot, or it brought a big participation in nation building.
Maraming salamat, schoolmate. Okay, siguro ang gusto naman niya improvement. Di ba? Kung ano ba ang mga pwedeng itama sa mga mali na nakikita natin. O sino pa? Magbibigay ng kanilang opinion. Okay, dito naman tayo sa bandang likod. Schoolmate, magpakilala ka sa kanila.
I'm Alexander Vilayas po. Ihambing po na natin ang Sangguniang Kabataan. Ihambing natin ito sa isang tao. Ngayon, kung halimbawa may nakikita tayong mali sa isang tao, halimbawa ay ito'y may isang karamdaman, halimbawa ay cancer, kailangan nating hanapin yung root para magamot, hindi para patayin ang tao. Kaya against po ako na i-abolish yung Sangguniang Kabataan. So, what will be the role of the youth if Sangguniang Kabataan will be abolished?
Okay, that's for your side. Anyone from you?
Conceding or granting that there's value with youth legislation or youth representation, we believe that the youth today has yet to earn that position or has yet to show the government that we are really interested. We are not really pro-abolition of SK forever. We are just saying that the youth today has yet to earn that position, has yet to earn that voice. Considering kanina lang, it's very evident how the youth responds to politics is not really that overwhelming. We need more youth to engage in our society, and we believe by the time na kung lahat na tayo is interested sa politics, that's the time that we deserve SK. That's the time we deserve to have a say in our government.
Maraming salamat at syempre kasama rin ang ating mga net. Ito na ang kanilang mga comments. Unahin natin si Andrews Empire. Itong sinabi niya, for me, oo. Kasi parang redundant na ang mga trabaho nila. At ang nagiging case, pinapupuyan ng mga anak ng politiko bilang OJT face nila. Ayon naman kay Merlin Agabaw. Sang-ayon ako natanggalin ang SK dahil dinidiktahan lang sila ng mga senior nila sa politika. At yan ang cause ng korupsyon sa murang edad na akala nila usual ang gawaing tiwali sa pondo. Kaya i-abolish daw. So patuloy niyo lang po ang pag-send ng inyong mga comments sa ating FB and Twitter account. Back to you, Jules and Hesa.
Salamat, Nico. At sa aming pagbabalik, marami pa tayong dapat pag-usapan tungkol sa Sangguniang Kabataan. Stay with us. Dito lamang sa Schoolmates!
Ay, pakialam ka!
Pro po ako na i-abolish yung SK kasi po hindi mo naman, sabi po earlier na hindi mo naman po kailangan ng posisyon para makapaglingkod. You can start it by yourself lang po.
Hindi po ako pro to abolish po kasi po unang-una po sa lahat, wala pong mali sa pagkakaroon ng Sangguniang Kabataan. Ang mali po kasi system. Yun po yung dapat binabago.
Alright, we are back and of course, you are still watching as Schoolmates. Cesa, maganda ng batuan na mapunto kanina.
Siyempre, mga law students yan.
Very eloquent, right? Okay, pero siyempre sa point na ito yung pinaka-favorite natin, Esa. Kasi magpapatuwa na sila ng kanilang mga rebuttals. But before we do that, short recap muna tayo.
Recap muna natin. Okay, so dito sa side nila, so their main comment here is education. And also, yung youth today, yung parang wala na silang interest about this topic. Diba? Yeah, about the SK. And also, we don't need positions to fulfill what SK is trying to do.
That's right.
Yun
Okay.
yung point nila.
Dito
Ano naman sa side mo?
Hesa, sabi nila, hindi pwedeng abolish ang SK kasi from the very start, it is mandated by the Constitution na kailangan mag-provide daw ng mga opportunities for the youth to serve. And number 2, wala namang assurance kung aalisin to, magbabago nga ba ang sitwasyon para sa mga kabataan. Number 3, provided daw to sa local government code. So kailangan talaga sundin to. And number 4, status quo is working. Nag-work naman siya. So ba't kailangan siyang i-abolish?
Yes.
Okay.
Alright.
So yan ang mga punto nila kanina. Pero
so,
ngayon,
simulan na natin. Let's start with Erwin.
Yes or no questions yung unang dalawa. First question, nanonood ka po ba ng Itbulaga? Nanonood ka po ba ng Itbulaga? So alam mo po yung Aldab fever today.
Yes.
The youth is very vibrant regarding the Aldab. How sure are you that when you reform SK, when you do not abolish SK, that the youth would have that high fever of participation regarding Sangguniang Kabataan kumpara dun sa kapag parang magiging ganun ba yung interest ng kabataan kagaya ng Aldab kapag ni-reform yung Sangguniang Kabataan?
Alright. First point dun, Aldab, okay, Itbulaga, is different from serving in the government. Quite different. Okay? Yung clamor ng tao dun sa Aldab is because of their heightened emotions. Because it is of the moment. Pero yung Sangguniang Kabataan, it exists for a long time. It is governed by the government. It is already mandated by the government. Here, ito yung opportunity ngayon ng mga youth to raise awareness regarding their role, their contribution to the society. Kaya nga ginawa yung Sangguniang Kabataan. This is our time to voice and as well as to execute naman what we can do or what we can contribute to the society.
Okay, mali naman daw pala na i-compare sa Aldab phenomenon itong pagkahilig ng mga kabataan sa SK. Pero may comment ako, no?
They're two different things kasi.
Kahit law students sila, may time sila manood ng Aldab.
I know, may
Good
time
job.
pa kayo.
Bukod sa mga digest, nanonood sila ng mga Aldab. Okay, so ano sagot nyo doon?
Yun nga po yung problema. Ang interest ng kabataan ngayon ay hindi na yung nakakaapekto sa ekonomiya, sa politika. Ang interest ng kabataan ay mga bagay na hindi na nakakaunlad. So yun ang problema ng Sangguniang Kabataan. Hindi niya na na-accomplish yung purpose niya na kagaya ng ginawa dati para makuha yung interest ng kabataan. Kasi ang generation gap noon at ngayon ay magkaiba na. So kailangan mag-adapt tayo. So ano yung present circumstances? Yun po.
Alright. So I think sinasabi ni Erwin dito is kung interesado, it's a point of interest yung sinasabi niya. Alright. May mga questions ba kayo?
Ako, may tanong ako. I will forgive you since you're a first-year student. So,
shots fired.
Under constitutional law, don't you know that the sections in Article 2 are non-self-executory? Ibig sabihin po ng non-self-executory, provided siya sa Constitution, pero kailangan siyang i-enact through statutes. Kaya po nagkaroon tayo ng local government code na nag-institutionalize sa Sangguniang Kabataan. So although na hindi siya nakalagay sa Constitution na word per word na Sangguniang Kabataan, kailangan po siyang i-enact through legislation. That is what you call non-self-executory.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's a point of clarification from this
Yes.
side. Okay. Any comment from your side?
Ate, let's try to level.
May seniority pala dito. May seniority. Okay, go ahead.
Let's try to level with our audience. If your only reason of not abolishing SK is our law says so, then should the law always... if the law is there because, to answer a need from the people, and if it no longer serves its purpose to serve the need of the people, should we change that law or should we still follow that law even if that law is no longer serving its purpose?
Okay.
That's
yung effectivity daw, kasi alam mo, Hetsa, sa public
Yes, sir.
administration, inaral namin public administration, dapat daw every 5 years inaaral yung mga batas kung apt pa rin daw siya sa panahon.
applicable pa
Oo.
for
Okay,
this
anong
time.
sagot dito ng ating mga seniors?
Alright.
Go ahead.
Ano na senior?
Mga kuya, The Constitution is the fundamental law of the land. So therefore, kailangan natin siyang sundin. Yan ay ginawa for the people, by the people, and of the people. So ibig sabihin, nag-contribute tayo dyan lahat. So ibig sabihin, we have to follow what the law mandates, what the Constitution says. Okay? Hindi lang pwede lahat na ang basis nyo would be just hearsay. It's because, kasi it's more of a politics, yung mga anak ni governor nagiging part of the SK. Mere hearsay. Sinabi na, yung pera na pupunta lang naman sa ganito. I know you have researched your part on doing your rebuttals, but apparently you haven't given us any statistics or any facts or any issues regarding that na magso-solidify on your stand. Unlike ours, we firmly hold on the Constitution, on what is mandated, and what are the statutes that we have right now.
May basis naman daw kasi sila. Kasi dito raw, wala daw silang datos na pinanghahawakan. So, saan nga ba yung basis ninyo? Kasi sinasabi nyo na hindi naman pala ganun ka-interesado mga kabataan sa SK.
Point of clarification, magbibigay kami ng basis namin mamaya. To answer Kuya's point, we are not saying to deviate from the Constitution because the Constitution does not expressly provide there should be an SK. What the Constitution says is we have to engage the youth in the politics, right? So, ang nagkasabi lang na there has to be an SK is a statute. So, kahit sa side namin, we are still sticking with our Constitution. But it's just that statute that says na may kailangan may SK is no longer serving its purpose. So, end goal namin dito is to engage you guys, engage the youth. But according to our side, maybe SK is not the best avenue na. Maybe we have to change our strategy na in order to engage the holistically the youth of the Philippines today, diba? Yun lang naman yung point namin as in a government.
Alright.
Alright,
Thanks, Carlo.
thank you.
Okay, let's end it there. Okay? Kasi puro legalities na points na yung mga
Yes.
yung mga discussion natin nandun na sa legality ng SK or whatsoever. Ngayon naman, punta tayo sa isa pang punto.
Yes.
Hesa,
So,
go
may
ahead.
tanong ako dito. Mayroon bang qualifications ang mga candidates for SK chairman? And also, how is their salary? Ano yung mga terms regarding that matter?
Yung qualifications kasi, ang age limit is 15 to 18, if I'm not mistaken. Tapos yung compensation nila or salary nila, ang sumisweldo lang is yung SK chairman. Hindi sumisweldo yung mga SK kagawad. So in effect, yung chairman, yung pwedeng yung magko-compensate doon sa kanyang mga kagawad kung naigagawa nila yung nang tama yung mga programang gusto nilang gawin o yung gusto nilang ipatupad.
Okay.
So, yun.
Chairman lang ang sumisweldo.
Chairman.
Okay, so basically, may sweldo. That's the
Yes.
point. Okay, so anong sagot niyo dyan?
Can we just have a point of clarification?
Sure.
They haven't told us the real purpose of Sangguniang Kabataan when it was enacted by President Marcos. Sangguniang Kabataan was enacted by President Marcos to counter activism. Because in that time, sobrang lawak ng aktivismo. Yun ang dahilan ng pagkakatatag ng Sangguniang Kabataan kasi marami nang kumokontra kay President Marcos. Pero ngayon, meron pa ring aktivismo, merong militante, at karamihan doon ay mga estudyante. Ibig sabihin, ang purpose ng Sangguniang Kabataan ay hindi rin niya na-accomplish. Kasi kung sana, na-accomplish niya yung purpose niya, more than legislation, at yung aktivismo, ay sana wala na yun ngayon. Kasi if you want to have a government of the people, by the people, since they are defending the government, if you really want to have government of the people, by the people, and for the people, you have to first establish a solid government na kahit na walang masyadong, kahit maraming flaws, hindi ganun katindi yung gustong tumiwalag sa gobyerno nyo. Kasi yun yung pinagtatanggol nyo, di ba?
Okay, thanks, Irving.
Right, thank
Sir,
you.
I want to clarify kasi magkaiba yung time frame natin doon. Dati, nasa martial law tayo. Ngayon, democracy na tayo eh. Diba? Nasa Republic of the Philippines na tayo. Meron tayong democracy. Ngayon, sinasabi nila na yung purpose daw ng SK is to counteract activism. Therefore, makikita ninyo na yung kabataan talaga is nag-e-engage siya sa politics sa Pilipinas. Kasi kung di sila nag-e-engage, paano mag-a-arise yung activism? Diba? Makikita nyo yung kagustuhan ng kabataan na baguhin natin yung gobyerno. At paano natin babaguhin nun? Ano yung avenue natin? Yung SK, yung best avenue natin para sabihin natin yung gusto natin, sabihin natin yung ayaw natin sa gobyerno, at sabihin natin yung kagustuhan nating pagbabago, yung tunay na pagbabago na gusto ng bawat kabataang Pilipino.
Okay.
So, parang sinasabi nila na it defeats the purpose of the SK. And it is not. Kasi kitang-kita natin na nandun pa rin yung kagustuhan ng kabataan natin. Kasi nangingialam tayo sa kalagayan ng ating gobyerno.
Okay, you have a response?
sa tagal-tagal ng panahon that the SK have existed, in fact, it's very magnificent in a sense. Do you have a concrete, just one concrete na result na naging bunga ng SK na napakaganda?
Okay. Good
Alright.
question. Go.
I could give you like two projects that have worked effectively. Okay, one is in San Mateo Rizal. They have worked on a particular feeding program which continuously is effective right now. Second, they also have activity in their barangay wherein they provide needs, especially dun sa mga out-of-school youths. That's their avenue for them to be able to reach those individuals. So therefore, it's active, it's existing, the status quo is working.
That's actually isolated. As I can see, that's actually isolated. Kasi I've gone to 5 barangays with 5 ARCOs. Welcome to barangay ganyan. Welcome to barangay ganyan. Sa dulo, salamat po sa pagpunta ninyo dito at ito'y proyekto ng SK. Ito lamang ang nakikita ko na proyekto ng SK maliban sa walang katapusang liga. Gabi-gabi may liga na pinagmumulan pa ng away. Gabi-gabi pa rin. So where is development there? Where is development?
Sobrang ganda ng usapan natin ngayon. Okay?
Yes,
Pero
nag-iinit na dito sa stage.
kailangan
Alright,
muna natin
guys.
bitinin, Hesa.
Yes, alright. So, kumustahin natin si Miko. Miko, ano masasabi ng mga schoolmates natin dyan?
Hop, hop, hop! Kalma lang, kalma lang. Grabe! Napakalamig dito dahil aircon, pero painit ng painit ang talakayan. Mga ate, mga kuya, mawalang galang na po, ha? Pero meron din, siyempre, mga magko-comment sa ating talakayan ng mga schoolmates dito sa audience. Sinong pwedeng mag-comment? Ayan, dito. Dito tayo. Schoolmate, magpakilala ka muna sa kanila.
Joshua Tandok po from Bachelor of Science in Entrepreneurship. Ayun po. Pagkapasok ko ng room na to, sabi ko, hindi pwedeng i-abolish yung SK. And panghahawakan ko yun. But nakita ko dun sa side nila, yung pinakamaganda para sa akin doon is that we don't need positions in order to serve the people. And yun. Yung yung sabi niyo na yung SK, parang nagiging corrupt-minded lang yung mga kabataan namin. Yung mga kabataang tulad namin. Ayun. So, tsaka yung sa mga militants, nandyan na yan eh. As long as may nakikita silang katiwalian, ipaglalaban nila kung yung alam nila para sa kabutihan pan lahat. So, if we think na, it's true naman na education is the right avenue for us, then why don't we educate the youth to be wise politicians in the near future?
Aba, maraming salamat. Hindi nga naman kailangan doon ng tagline o posisyon para makatulong ka. Hindi ba? Okay, tingnan naman natin sino yung gusto magtanong. Dito naman banda sa likod. Schoolmate, magpakilala ka na muna.
Hi, I'm Hiki from Business Economics. Yung tanong ko lang po, sa pro-abolish sangguniang kabataan, what is the assurance of effectiveness of SK in the country, in small barangays? Kung halos lahat naman po ay galing naman, nagkakaroon lang ng political dynasty in the long run.
Okay, this is for the against the abolition.
Against.
That's
Against,
right.
okay.
So ano raw effectiveness?
All right. Here's the first thing. Yung sinasabi nilang political dynasty, again, I'm going back to my point that they are just hearsays. There are no still solid facts regarding that. Lain na kasi nararamdaman ng mga tao na ito yung stepping stone ng mga anak daw ng government officials na dito sila magsimula. Okay, and then going back to your question, di ba, you said na parang ano yung mga avenues na pwedeng puntahan ng mga youth for them to be able to exercise their leadership. One good point is actually the SK. Because first, it is already solid and mandated by the law. Now, kasi yung SK, meron yung umbrella, may mga tinatawag na kabataan ng barangay which they could perform isolated and as well as individualized functions. Para, kunyari, this is for health, this is for education, this is for livelihood. Pwede mo silang gawin, pwede siyang mag-function as that. Okay, meron ngang tinatawag doon na yung mga barangay, kabataan ng barangay, they would work hand in hand para ma-achieve yung kung ano yung gusto ni SK. Actually, hindi lang more of implementation eh. It's more of administration as well. Kaya nga, magandang avenue, magandang set point para mag-start tayo na i-exercise yung leadership natin and management through SK.
Maraming salamat, Kuya. Ayan. At syempre, marami pa rin po mga nagsisend ng kanilang mga komento sa ating mga social media accounts. Basahin na natin. Ito si Josephus Nodado Pilapil. Hindi maganda ang naging resulta, lalo na ang sistema ng SK. Isa sa dahilan ng kulang sa edad at usaping seryoso, lalo na sa public service. Ayon naman kay Ariel Sabroso, para po sa akin, mga schoolmates, hindi ako sang-ayon sa pag-alis ng SK kasi hindi naman matututo mag-corrupt ang mga kabataan kung walang magtuturo at mag-uutos sa mga opisyal ng SK para gawin nyo. Ayan, narinig na natin ang sigaw ng ating mga netizens. Patuloy lang po sa pagbabadala ng komento sa ating social media accounts sa FB at sa Twitter dahil tuloy-tuloy pa ang ating talakayan sa pagbabalik yan ng Schoolmates!
Salamat ako sa TV4 sa pagdalo nyo sa pamantasan ng lungsod ng Maynila upang marinig din ninyo ang mga opinyon o pananaliksik ng aming mga scholar, matatalino mga estudyante dito. Kaya sa pamamagitan ng debate, for or against, hindi naman kailangan kung sino ang nanalo at makikita ng mga kababayan natin na yung mga opinyon, mga posisyon na makakatulong din sa kanila sa kanyang pagdesisyon. So, bahagi ito ng aming edukasyon dito, yung critical thinking at ang kahalagahan din ng dialogue. Yung dynamics ng schoolmates, binibigyan ng diin dito yung paggamit ng kaisipan. So, nais naming palakasin mga ganitong organisasyon na alam naman natin magagaling tayong mga Pilipino sa song and dance, pero pagdating sa pagbabahagi ng isip, pagpapakita ng anong karapat-dapat, value system or scientific research or even methods of study, nais namin i-promote ito sa ating mga estudyante.
Welcome back, and of course, you're still watching Schoolmates. Miko Hesa, kamusta yung debate natin kanina?
Sobrang intense dito, no? Miko?
Matindi.
Yes.
Matindi.
Galing nila.
Ang gagaling. Palakpakan natin yung PLM students.
Thank you so much.
Law students
guys.
Oh.
Kaya talagang yung bakbakan kanina.
Baka dito na lang ako
may
mag-law school, parang magaling ata law school.
Dito na daw si
Oh,
Jules. Okay na ba sa inyo, guys?
Okay, pero syempre, ang mabida dito yung mga debaters natin. Ano ba yung final statement na natin? Simulan natin
let's
sa'yo.
hear the final words from Irvin.
We would like to acknowledge our negative for giving us and for responding to our clash. However, ito yung nakita namin. Reality speaking, ang proyekto ng SK ay ang magpintura ng mga gilid-gilid, maglagay ng mga basura. Pero iisipin mo bang kailangan pa ng ganun kung tayo mismo ang makabataan, hindi tayo nagva-vandalize ng mga dingding? Kasi kung yun yung ituturo sa atin dito pa lang sa eskwelahan, we do not actually have to propose those projects because they're not needed anymore. And that's what your affirmative is trying to propose, that before giving the youth a large mechanism, powerful legislation mechanism, you have first to reach the interest of the youth. You have to discipline them that no matter how corrupt the structure is in politics, they would make a stand. Kasi kung ang kabataan ngayon ipapasok mo sa isang sistema na corrupt, na kahit anong gawin ng kabataan ngayon ay hindi niya kayang mag-stand doon dahil yun yung sistema, dapat hindi mo muna siya ilagay doon. Ilagay mo muna siya sa isang mas magandang avenue kung saan kapag dumating na siya sa pagkakataon na siya yung maglilingkod, hindi niya nagagawin yun kasi disiplinado siya at edukado siya, hindi niya na yun kailangan gawin. So we are not depriving the youth of youth representation. We are not depriving the youth of participation, but we are not after quantity representation. We are after quality representation. With this, we, law students of PLM first year, for the people and by the people and of the people, we are proud to propose. And we remain. Thank you.
Galing ng freshie.
Very well said, ha?
Yes,
Freshman ng
alright.
PLM Law School.
All right, now let's hear the final words from Gian. Go ahead.
We acknowledge that education is important, but learning is constrained inside the four walls of our room. So how do we expose, how do we apply, and how do we execute this learning? It is through a best venue, and that is the SK, wherein we experience, we expose ourselves, and we execute what we have learned in the classrooms. And SK has a noble purpose. For those alleged corruptions or criticisms, they are just mere incidental. For the law recognizes that it is important for the youth to participate in every aspect of the community affairs. And for the part of the non-abolition side, we remain and stand firm that it is not necessary to abolish the Sangguniang Kabataan, for it caters to the participation of the youth in the government. Magtiwala po tayo sa ating mga kabataan. Kayang-kaya nila.
Thank you, Gian!
Thank you very much.
Alright, tayo naman. Ito, Esa.
Una, Esa.
Okay, go.
Ako naman, I'm with the pro side. Okay? Kasi if you think about it, mga bata pa lang sila. Di ba, Jules and Nico? Like, at the age of 15, if given the power, do you think they're responsible enough? Di ba? So, I think kung i-educate lang naman sila, they can be able to be good youth leaders in the future. Yun yung para sa akin. Ikaw,
Ako naman, Hesa, wag nating tanggalan ng boses ng kabataan sa ating bayan, di ba? Dahil madami din naman mga leaders, kahit na bata sila, gusto nilang magbigay serbisyo sa ating bayan, di ba? Pero, ang sabi nila, corrupt. Bakit? Ang mga bata lang ba sa SK ang corrupt? Di ba? Nangyayari na yan lagi sa ating bansa. Kaya naman, pag corrupt ka, di talo tayo. Dapat, ang gawin natin, let's vote wisely. Bakit tayo boboto ng corrupt? Diba? Bumoto tayo ng tama, yung may integridad, yung may pagmamahal sa bayan, dahil pagka yan ang napili natin, panalo uunlad ang daang matuwid na ating bansa. Maraming salamat.
Okay, ako naman, I'll really try to make this short. Unang-una, gusto ko muna sagutin yung point na hindi daw natin kailangan ng posisyon para maglikod. Okay, gets ko yun. Pero we're talking about the government. We're talking about a structure. Kung ayaw mo ng posisyon, huwag na tayo mag-gobyerno. Yun lang yun, di ba? This is a different matter. Kailangan natin ng posisyon sa gobyerno. SK is a different matter. Number 2, alam nyo ba, ng SK ay unique sa buong mundo. Tayo lang sa buong mundo ang may Sangguniang Kabataan or Youth Council. So, what must we do now? Kailangan natin i-reform itong SK. Kung ang common notion natin ngayon ay puro breeding ground daw ng corrupt leaders, so, ba't hindi natin gawin na breeding ground to ng mga good leaders in the future? That's why I am one with the National Youth Commission para i-reform ang Sangguniang Kabataan. Number 1, adjust the range ng age from 15 to 17, make it 15 to 24. Kasi we are talking about money here, public funds yan. Kaya mas maganda siguro na may mas mature doon sa council. Number 2, walang salary. Tama, alisin yung salary. Kasi kung gusto talaga nila maglingkod, maglilingkod sila kahit walang salary. Scholarship pa siguro pwede yan. Number 4, let's involve organizations para mas maging maganda yung accountability natin dito. Hindi lang individuals yung pinag-uusapan, organizations should be involved. That's my stand. Reform the SK.
Grabe! Sa darating na eleksyon! Wow!
Alright.
Pero, alam nyo, mga schoolmates, meron pa tayong mga dapat matutunan. Kaya meron tayong special VTR. Sabay-sabay po natin panoorin ito. 3, 2, 1...
It's always...
Oto, nirip na. O, nirip. Mali. Point si David. Pero kayo schoolmate.
Okay, kaya muna tayo. Okay lang ha. Parang hindi naman ang boxing.
Schoolmate! Mamimiss ka namin, pare, kahit na ngayon pa lang tayo nagkasama bilang magka-schoolmate.
Thank you. Para sa kalaman ng lahat, kasi pupunta akong States from August 22 hanggang November 5.
For 2 months ka doon.
Yes, to
diba,
represent
John?
the Southeast Asia, the youth of Southeast Asia. So, maraming salamat po.
Palakpakan naman natin si Jules.
Sobrang mahal ko po kayo, public affairs. Hindi niyo po alam kung gaano kalaki opportunity binibigay niyo sa akin. Of course, to my co-host, to JV, to Hes, and of course, to Miko. Ikaw yung hahalili dito. So, maraming salamat. Sana po mas tangkilikin niyo po yung school schoolmates. Dahil ito po yung programa para mas gawin natin makabuluhan yung tungkulin ng kabataan sa ating lipunan. Salamat po.
Palakpakan naman natin si Jules. Jules!
Pero guys, don't worry kasi babalik naman siya.
Tama, babalik pa si Jules. Jules, dahil dyan, nandito nga pa lang yung family.
Meron ba?
Hindi, joke lang. Biro lang, Jules.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, extra na. Balik na tayo to normal. Okay, and with that, gusto natin pasalamatan ng ating mga debating teams. Palakpakan po natin.
Thank you so much,
Sobrang
guys.
gagaling.
Sobrang galing.
Thank you sa pamantasan ng lungsod ng Maynila and of course to their faculty members.
At saka sa mga schoolmates natin na sumubaybay sa kanilang mga television screens at sa lahat ng mga social media accounts natin sa FB, sa Twitter, sa lahat ng mga nag-comment at nakisali. Maraming salamat mga schoolmates.
Alright guys, and I would like to thank Mingo Sandy Fashion for my outfit for today and L'Oreal Cosmetics for my hair.
Nessa Stilia, Gold's Gym. Maraming salamat, Jules.
Thank you rin po, Albert Mudok. And please watch Good Morning Boss every day from Monday to Friday. Magpapadala pa rin po ako ng videos all the way from the States.
Yun!
Alright. Ating tandaan sa bawat usapin, sa bawat issue, may boses ang kabataan.
Sumali, makinig at makiisa dahil opinion mo ay mahalaga.
Kaya naman sabay-sabay natin isigaw sa buong mundo. Schoolmates,
may pakialam ka!
Isigaw ang tinig mo, ihayag sa buong mundo.